Welcome to section 1.4. This is the fifth session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll look at who steers security and how they prove it works. We'll answer several questions. What is security governance and who owns it? How does it connect to the rest of the business? Why is security not just an IT concern? What frameworks help you structure it? What is third-party governance? And what role does documentation review play? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because governance is what keeps security honest over time. Picture a growing retailer whose board asks a simple question every quarter. Are we actually safer than last quarter? And can we prove it? Without governance, security drifts into a pile of tools nobody reviews. With it, someone senior is accountable for direction, and outside auditors can confirm you are meeting your obligations. On the job, this is the layer that turns effort into assurance. What is security governance, and who owns it? It is the set of practices that support, define, direct, and evaluate an organization's security efforts. Ideally, a board or a governance committee runs it, drawing on people from different industries and backgrounds. In smaller shops, a chief executive or a chief information security officer may carry the load. The point is that governance compares your internal practices against outside knowledge and steers improvement from the top. Think of a ship's bridge crew, setting the course and checking it against the charts, not just steering blindly. How does governance connect to the rest of the business? Tightly, because it is woven into corporate and IT governance. All three pursue overlapping goals, like keeping the business running while pushing toward growth and resilience. Some governance duties are forced on you by law and regulation, others by industry rules or license terms. Every form of it, including security governance, has to be checked and validated periodically. This gets genuinely tricky when the laws of different countries disagree or even conflict. Think of three managers sharing one calendar. Their commitments overlap constantly, so they have to coordinate rather than work in isolation. Why is security not just an IT concern? Because it touches every part of the organization, not only the server room. Governance is really a management method fused with a security solution, reaching into every level of the business. The very phrase security governance exists to hammer this home. Security is a business operations issue, something the whole organization owns, not a task the technical team quietly handles in the background. Think of workplace safety. It is not the janitor's private problem. Everyone from the boardroom to the loading dock shares it. What frameworks help you structure all this? Establish frameworks and guidelines so you are not inventing governance from scratch. Public standards bodies publish structured guidance you can adopt and adapt to your own environment. As artificial intelligence and large language models spread, that guidance now extends to AI-specific governance, with dedicated risk frameworks for mapping, measuring, and managing the risks of building and deploying AI systems. There is even an international standard for an artificial intelligence management system, folding concerns like fairness, transparency, and accountability into normal operations. Much of this material was written with government and military use in mind, yet other organizations can borrow it freely. Think of a recipe book. You did not write the recipes, but you tailor each one to your own kitchen. What is third-party governance? It is external oversight of security, and it works in two directions. In one direction, an outside investigator or auditor examines you, mandated by law, regulation, industry standards, contracts, or licensing. In the other direction, you extend your own oversight onto the outside parties you depend on. Any vendor handling your guards, your maintenance, your support, or your accounting must meet your security stance, or they become a fresh source of risk. Good third-party governance leans on full and open document exchange, so both sides agree on every requirement and no one gets surprised. Think of hiring a subcontractor for a build. You check their license, and they check yours before anyone pours concrete. What role does documentation review play? It is the step where exchange materials are read and checked against your standards and expectations. It usually happens before anyone shows up for an on-site inspection. If the paperwork is complete and solid, the on-site visit can simply confirm that reality matches the documents. If the paperwork is thin or wrong, the visit is postponed until it is fixed, because messy documentation usually signals a messy operation underneath. In government and military settings, failing this review can cost you your authorization to operate, and winning it back demands complete documents plus a full on-site check. Think of a pilot's pre-flight checklist. If the logbook does not add up, the plane simply does not leave the gate. So let's bring it together. Security governance is the practice of directing, defining, and evaluating security, ideally owned by a board and steered from the top. It is fused with corporate and IT governance and shaped by laws that sometimes conflict. Security is a whole business issue, not an IT-only chore. Frameworks give you structure, now including guidance for AI systems. Third-party governance runs both ways. Auditors checking you and you checking your vendors, and documentation review is the paperwork gate that can make or break an authorization to operate. Get governance right, and everything else you build has real oversight. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.